Since our webinar series, The Data Sushi Lessons, we all know that sensor data is raw like sushi. Johannes is software engineer at B+ and works on the bRAWcap. So my question is, Johannes, thanks first of all for your time. Could you please explain me what the bRAWcap is and what it is used for?
Hello, everyone. I'm happy to introduce you to bRAWcap. bRAWcap can be used as low-level communication with Ethernet adapters. So you have access to raw Ethernet packets on Windows machines. bRAWcap is hardware independent and optimized for performance. Therefore, you can use it for 10 gigabit Ethernet, for example.
Okay, that sounds really good, but what is the usual problem with standard drivers?
On Windows, you have with the standard drivers only access to network layer 3. There is no possibility to send or receive data with Windows sockets below the Internet Protocol layer. As far as I know, there are a few other drivers out there which can access the raw Ethernet data, but those which we have tested are not designed for high throughput. They are not designed and not working on 10 gigabit. Almost every time you get to this bandwidth, you get a system freeze or a unstable system. So we decided to develop our own solution for this problem.
That sounds very powerful and very broad. Can you tell me about the functions of bRAWcap?
Yes, of course, there are many special features which bRAWcap has, but I'm going to name just a few of them. First of all, we have the filtering mechanism, because in many cases it is not necessary that you capture the whole traffic which is going on your network, and therefore bRAWcap supports a byte filter mechanism which allows to select specific packets very precisely. The second one is a timestamping mechanism. We have not only one timestamping mechanism, we have many different timestamp mechanisms, and you can configure them to according to your own needs. And some of these timestamp mechanisms provide a very high precision and resolution down to nanoseconds. The next important feature is VLAN tagging, because in many situations today you use VLAN in your network, and this is a very important property which you want maybe to record, and therefore bRAWcap provides the functionality that you can place the VLAN tag inside the packet payload. This is almost always cut off in every other solution which I know. To go on, bRAWcap has also a switch which can be compared to a test access point, which allows you to debug your or to grab the information to your application and also forward it to other applications. But there is the possibility, if you turn the switch off, only your application will see the data, which can reduce system load drastically. That's a feature which is for performance and throughput. And the next thing is that bRAWcap provides many functions with its API for adapter handling. This makes dealing with local Ethernet adapters straightforward, and you do not have to call the Windows API for this anymore. This is what bRAWcap can do for you. It can retrieve almost all information of your network adapters.
That's really, really impressive. So you mentioned some other solutions or other tools on the market, but is there one of a kind you would say where bRAWcap is unique compared to others?
As I have mentioned before, we have had a look at the market, what is available for such problems, and we have tested many of those solutions which we found. For these solutions, we have seen that they are not designed for high throughput. They are almost only working on 1 gigabit Ethernet, and if you go beyond this value, you get a unstable system or system freeze at all, which makes the system unusable. And bRAWcap is designed for high throughput. It allows to capture up to 10 gigabit and beyond, and has a very wide range of configuration possibilities to adapt bRAWcap to your daily needs.
When I have a setup that is already in use, is it easy to implement bRAWcap or to set up the bRAWcap with other components?
If you want to embed bRAWcap into your application, for example, there is a installer available which allows easy deployment and can be directly deployed with your application. To make it easy for your user, The user will, in the best case, not even see that bRAWcap is running in the background. For embedding bRAWcap into your application, we also provide a complete SDK. The SDK contains everything you need, such as the C API headers and the corresponding library. There is also a very detailed documentation, of course, how to use the API, which makes it straightforward to implement, and we can ensure compatibility between later versions.
So thank you, Johannes, for your insights in bRAWcap. We now know what bRAWcap is and where it can be used. We know the differences to other standard drivers, and we also got an insight into the software. And everybody who's interested in bRAWcap can ask for a demo version and find everything at the product website at bplus.com. Bye, Johannes. Have a good
Bye,
day.
Simone. Have a good day. Ciao.